have to excuse your boy right now. We just got out of the shower, and the hair game is coming. I've been wearing hats in my videos lately. Well, the edited ones. I'm gonna leave this one raw. You got to tell me if you like the raw videos as well, because I don't know. I'm always scared to polish things up. Sometimes I feel like you guys deserve, the best. I kind of feel like I have a responsibility, and if I'm not maybe editing things, but maybe that's misplaced. You gotta let me know. I'm being very vulnerable right now, especially with this look. But today, gentlemen, I really want to talk about a habit which I feel is the stepping stone for you to finally get rid of this degenerate habit. I'm talking about the habit that I struggled with for years and years and years. And, it's habit, of course, is very, very popular on, we're not popular on this channel. It's, getting rid of it is popular on this channel. And because I feel like, look, the situation is getting worse. The situation is getting a lot worse. It's not getting better. And, in a very real sense, I know, I certainly lean into making videos that are more popular in the sense of, for my benefit in terms of reaching as many people and getting subscribers. And yeah, sure, I lean into marketing things in a different way. But, I wanted to make this video because, I get questions on my Discord, free Discord, by the way, if you want to join and you want to ask questions and you want to join a community of guys who are, fundamentally trying to better themselves, and you get access to me. I get really, really heartbreaking questions from young guys who are, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, who are, their lives are a mess. And most of that is down to the fact that their environment now is so saturated with material that is designed to provoke them in a way whereby they're constantly self-pleasuring themselves, that they can't think of anything else. Like, I was born in 1995, and, when I was kind of 14, 15 and 16 is where I started getting access to like smartphones. I kind of involved with this material, and it got me. It got me earlier, got me like 14, 15 when I was growing up with them. And, nowadays it's even younger. It's permeating boys who are 10 years old. As soon as you're getting access to a smartphone, you're getting access to this material. And it is just, it has visceral changes on your gray matter. It's not an idea, it's physical changes that are happening to you. And it changes how you interface with the world. And in that respect, we have to, with the evolution of things like AI and these things becoming hyper stimulating, and the environment is more saturated with it. And what's really scary for me is, maybe for the older gentleman, is this lack of intimacy now. That's why, the rise of lonely fans. I'm starting to call it lonely fans because when these women get older, this is what's going to happen. With the rise of lonely fans, it's indicative not of a perverse, or not just indicative of a perverse culture, but it's indicative of a lack of intimacy, of lonely men, like men who just are not finding that connection with other human beings. Because otherwise they would just go for the free material. No, it's these men are seeking a relationship on some kind of level. And that is scary. That is scary to acknowledge, because that's real fundamentally. So the practice. Now, I'll be transparent on what you can find on some of my more, paid material. And thank you so much for supporting me. If you go to Patreon, if you've got Sexual Energy Mastery, because there's so many different methods that you can use in order to help you mitigate the presence of this kind of addictive habit in your life. I'm talking about PMO, which is, what the P stands for. The M is masturbation, and the O is orgasm. And, I'm outcome related. I really believe firmly that, if you're getting what you want in life, like if you're happy right now, if you're really happy with your life circumstances, and perhaps this is a habit that you have and it's not so perverse, then why are you watching this video? But, if you're unhappy with your circumstances and you're looking to, maybe you want a little bit more self-respect, Maybe you want more energy. Maybe you want to stop the feeling of this kind of, the shameful energy that you carry yourself with. Perhaps maintaining eye contact is difficult from you. And this, I believe, is all the consequence of how you relate to yourself, how you respect yourself. This is going to be of invaluable resource to you. It has to be breath work. It has to be your breathing. If you want to influence your mind, and it usually starts in the mind, it usually starts from a trigger. It usually starts with, where is that pesky device? It usually starts with the screens, right? And, if we haven't yet cleansed our environment of Instagram, of TikTok, things like this, a trigger comes up, an idea comes in the mind. And we've already had our neural pathways just bombarded and berated by the same old trick, the same old routine, by getting this trigger and then going down that path. We have to get in the way of that. How do we control our mind? You control the mind through breath. You control the mind through breathing. All this is, in very simplistic terms, is a build-up of bio-nervous energy, bioelectrical energy. There are many different terms depending on, where you learn this. If you talk to the Hindus would say this is called Shakti energy, and you influence this through prana, right? Many different ways. And all this is a tension in that area, a buildup of energy in that area. And what do we do when we breathe? We bring our attention to the lungs, to the diaphragm, to the accessory respiratory muscles. Okay, and this is prana, this is life force. I like using the Hindu vernacular because it's the one that helped me understand the best. Yeah. And there are various different texts you can read on this, but I'm boiling this down into something that is simple, so you can just watch the rest of this video, okay? So we use prana. So sexual energy follows prana, right? Your sexual reflex, the limbic system, is influenced by your breath. Think about it. The breath is actually something that is the only thing in your body that can come under conscious control or unconscious control. It is the bridge between sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. And once you have more jurisdiction over this, you can influence the unconscious. It's very powerful. And the irony is, I learned this towards the latter part of my research, and I always say to myself, it was right in front of your face, Joseph, right? The answers were, the thing that makes it easy is right here. This is the mechanism. This tool allows you to influence your very chemistry. This is alchemy right here. The breath, the air, turns the wheels. You've got something called the craniosacral pump in your sacrum. And when you breathe in, it flexes and it pushes CSF round the brain. So the air pushes the fluid around the brain, which acts almost like it's a hydroelectrical dam. When the gravity of water falls down the dam, it turns the wheels and it turns it into electricity. And those wheels are the chakras. So the cerebral spinal fluid. This is very highbrow stuff. I hope I'm explaining this way. So you're turning the wheels. When you're doing heavy breath work, you're turning the wheels. So the air moves the water, turns the chakras, creates electricity, nervous energy. And then you can start to influence the plexuses. I have some videos that are unedited that go into this with, diagrams. So have a little research. I'm not sure what their names are. But, if you're following, still follow. And in this way, you have better government over the ganglia. The ganglia are... They're clusters of nerves that come together. And you've got big clusters of nerves in your pelvic floor, and they call this the root chakra. So, I think for the raw rational-minded, like if you're scientific, you're a very logical person watching this video, that's fine. The way I understand it is in terms of ganglion and plexuses, nervous plexuses. Like if you look at the nervous system, if you research like a diagram of the nervous system, you've got your spinal cord, right? And then you've got it's like webs coming off the spinal cord into like you can imagine the pelvis is here, The solar plexus has so many connections, and you've got your heart plexus, and you've got the throat, and you've got, the head. You get the picture. And in moments where you're entertaining limbic system response, carnality, you watch that image, all of that nervous energy is going down. It's going down into the plexus. Okay. So how do we have better control over this? This is the sexual energy in the root here. We breathe. The air turns the fluid, and then the wheels turn the electricity. And then what you can do with intention is you can move that buildup of nervous energy into other plexuses, into the solar plexus, which is the greatest way. Another model, which is good to understand this, is called the microcosmic orbit. And this was made very, very popular by a gentleman called Mantak Chia. Okay. So there's the reasoning. Once you have greater jurisdiction about how you can control your state, you can have better jurisdiction over, whether or not you are compelled to do this kind of activity. There are other tools that go into this, such as creating greater connections in your prefrontal cortex, which controls higher executive function, stops you being impulsive, meditation, things like that. Like, here's the thing, what's really interesting is part of the journey for you actually coming to this new place where you get rid of, degenerate habits is actually reasoning. Yeah. So it always makes me laugh whenever, once I understand this made me approach different pieces of content better. Like you hear like top 5, let's say you're looking to increase testosterone, right? And you go, oh, there's a video, top 5 natural ways to increase testosterone. And you're just looking for the cliff notes. What are the top 5? Let's say it's, oh, you have to do heavy squats because the biggest muscles in your body are being used and therefore there's a higher uptake in testosterone. Let's say number 2 is take ashwagandha. Let's say number 3 is red light therapy. Let's say number 4 is cold water exposure, right? Those are the cliff notes, yeah? Now, if you don't have any reasoning, if you don't have any rationality, if you don't have, so this is understanding. If you don't have understanding in how those things relate to an increase in testosterone, then your execution will be poor on those things. Like I can tell you right now that in order to mitigate, in order to quit PMO, in order to quit watching these horrible things that you see online, in order to quit this degenerate habit, the answer is you need to do spinal breathing, you need to do meditation, and let's say another thing is affirmations can be very, very powerful, especially subconscious affirmations in the morning and in the evening. I can tell you those things. You will never execute on them. You'll never execute on them because you do not understand the theory, the procedure, the rationalization to those outcomes. And that's why I maybe to my detriment of not converting people to subscribers, maybe not to my detriment of reaching as many people as possible and being entertaining, but I go so much into theory, on masculine theory, because the theory is critical for you to get to the outcome you need. It is critical. That's why I read so much. If you don't have understanding, how can you expect yourself to execute to 100%? You won't do it. So do yourself a favor. Do yourself a big favor. Stop looking for the practical. I'm not saying the practicality isn't important, but practicality without any understanding will never yield you results. And this takes time, by the way. And this is what's so damning about short form content nowadays, is because people are trying to create things that are very entertaining, very outlandish, that are, trying to affect you emotionally and capture you emotionally in that way. But you will never improve your life if you don't take the time to understand the theory behind it. It doesn't happen. It's not how human beings work. You need to You need to be convinced. You need to be convinced. And I hope this helps you. The theory of this is to convince you why breath work is so powerful for helping you, and also for you to approach the different ways that you get to the outcomes you want in life through understanding, it, right? And if you want to join, I'm thinking of hosting more live talks just with the Discord community where we can do Q&As. I'm thinking about hosting one kind of maybe mid-February time. We'll see how my schedule's looking. But if that would be valuable to you, do let me know, and we can get it popping. But gentlemen, no theories today, facts only. Let me know if you enjoy the raw talks. It's been a while. I'm going to leave this unedited. I might even upload this now. Who knows? And we'll speak soon, hopefully.